Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, as you can see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where it's Sunday, gotta relax on Sunday. I don't know. It's Sunday. It's a weekend. We're going to be doing some recording because I've been busy. So I haven't done. What do I actually need to record? I need to record some Railbound. I do need to do a new thumbnail art. Let's see. 1st of November is when the last episode of Tunic is coming up. So I've got about a week or a bit, which is not too bad. But yeah, I need to record a lot of Railbound. Apparently I'm really behind on Railbound compared to all the others. But anyway, hello there everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 2:44 PM on Sunday, October 22nd, 2023. I will say, when I just started recording, I was like, is my microphone off or something? Like, why does my voice sound so different? But it's actually because, now I think about it, it's because I changed the headphone earpads I have. I've had these headphones for a long time. I have the DT770 Pros. Actually, I think these are my second DT770 Pros. Because I originally bought them ages ago, but I don't even remember necessarily why or when. I just wanted some nice headphones, and then I think those ones broke like years later, and I ordered another pair, and these have been, I don't know how necessarily long I've had these for, but I think combined the two. Wait, did I order two, or is this the original? Are you the original headphones? I don't remember anymore, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know what I was going with. Where was I going with? Anyway, the headphones have these like headphone pads on them, which I switch out. In the summer I use like the black like fake leather ones and pleather ones or whatever, and then in winter I use these more soft padded ones, because one of them's, this one's warmer and the other one's cooler, basically is the entire reason. But they do give like different acoustic feels, because these ones make the headphones more open, while the other ones are a bit more sort of like, not muting, but soundproofing, I suppose, just by nature of the material. But there are also things which I have not like washed in a long time. Like it's one of those things where, you know, it's like you should clean things, and you know, I do try and clean things in general. I do like to be clean, but there's often things which I don't think about the fact that I need to clean all that often. Not all that often, but you know, these headphone pads were certainly one of them. And it was, I don't want to visit someone. It was a thing I was thinking while I was thinking about changing them. It was like, hey, you know, the other headphone pads are like, I should probably wash these. Like, they probably like smell. They did start smelling a little bit, and I was just like, okay, that's definitely a good sign that they should definitely be washed, because it's been years of like daily usage, and in fact I never washed them, and it's just like, why have they never thought to wash them before? So I washed them like a couple of days ago, actually. You know, it wasn't crazy. I just like hand washed them like you would hand wash any clothes. You get a basin, you put some like laundry detergent in there, warm water, scrub, and you keep going until the water sort of basically runs clear, I suppose. They were very murky, I would say, and now they smell like they're fresh out of a laundry machine or something, and they're hopefully relatively clean, I would say. And you know, it's game changing to a certain degree. I suppose it's game changing more of the fact that it was like a breaking the spell of ignorance is bliss. You know, previous me not even really thinking about the fact that, yeah, these things probably need to be washed because they've not been washed like ever. And now, you know, with them being washed, they feel new, they feel clean. I'm also using the older Joy-Cons because I forgot to charge my other Joy-Cons yesterday, so we're stuck with red and blue for today. Not that it really matters because we're not doing Happy in Paradise or anything. So yeah, I don't know, it's like, but there's always things which you should clean, but you don't always think about, certainly. Like, you know, I'm trying to think, what thing do I not clean particularly often, but I, you know, am aware of, like, cleaning. Like, my computer is something I clean out of dust. Well, I try to do it, like, every few months or so. I don't know, like, how often you're meant to do it. But there was a time where I thought to myself and realised, hey, I haven't actually, like, cleaned my inside of my computer for, like, nearly a year now or something, and I was like, that probably makes sense why my computer's running so loud, is there's such a build up of dust. I like cleaned out all the dust and my computer was like silent. I don't know when the last time I actually cleaned my computer is, but it's because it's quite a nuisance, I think, to clean, because I don't like cleaning it in my room. Like, I've got a carpeted room. You're not meant to work with computer stuff or any electronics, sensitive electronics, on carpet, because you have a chance of building up static electricity, which can fry components. So I try and do it in a place of floorboards. But it's really like tedious, like unplugging everything on my computer, picking up like, it's a heavy computer. I'm not like like extremely strong or anything, and it's the mechanics of it's really annoying because it's in like the corner of my room, the corner of my desk, sorry, behind my computer screens, and it's like lifting it over the computer screens, taking it out. Cleaning it itself is actually not that bad. It's just like the getting it in and getting it out is quite annoying. But yeah, I don't know. Like these earpads, like I've cleaned them, and I suppose whenever I switch over to the other earpads, I will clean them. The other earpads just before as well, and they'll feel like new, feel fully refreshed. But it's always nice when you clean something, especially something which you haven't cleaned for a while, and you look at it and it's like, whoa. It's positively like sparkling. Like floor tiles are like a super big one as well. Especially the floor tiles, not the linoleum ones, the sort of like stone ones. I'm not like super well versed on like materials of like construction and things like that. I'm not like a craftsman or anything like that. If I do any sort of crafting things, it'll usually be to do with things of like sewing and stitching, as like needlework, not needlework, but tailor. I'm not a tailor, but you know, that sort of thing I have experience in, but I don't have much experience in other sort of craftsmanship things. I can assemble, you know, stuff like IKEA furniture, of course, like, but I would not know how to like replaster a wall or something like that. I would not know how to like construct a room house extension, etc., etc. Yeah, so I don't really know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, I was talking about like cleaning tiles. You know, just like if you ever like had wear and tear through your tiles and they're just like super dirty, they could become like a sort of like off yellow grey colour, and then you clean them and it's like, whoa, didn't even realise that these were the original colour of the tiles. I've never had a situation where it's been that bad, I think. Where it's like I had something that's completely yellow and I cleaned it and it's like, oh, this was meant to be like bright white. But certainly, you know, a level of discoloration is quite normal, I think, through things, especially through tiles you might find in the kitchen, you know, but I assume the smoke and stuff eventually discolours things. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's very easy to get sort of used to the day-to-day of what something is, you know, without cleaning it, because it doesn't really cross your mind. Like even right now I'm looking over to like my shelf and I see like quite a bit of dust on it. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't really thought about the fact that I need to definitely clean that at some point. There's always like so many things to clean, you know, and I don't blame people for not, you know, cleaning things like all the time. You know, having a layer of dust I don't think is... People's houses don't need to be in pristine condition, I suppose. Your living places should be... There should be a level of sanitary cleanliness, of course, but there doesn't need to be an extreme pristine level of everything. Does everything need to be dust-free every single day? No, I think you'll run yourself ragged trying to de-dust everything every single day. But you should, you know, clean things you should dedicate some time to cleaning things every now and then, right? You know, dust builds up, it's inevitable, it's just, you know, part of existence, if anything. And just taking the time, I suppose, to clean them off is, you know, beneficial. But some things are very difficult to clean, you know. I'd be remiss if I didn't say I was sometimes a little bit lazy, being like, with the idea of cleaning my earpads, because it's something that's crossed my mind before, but I was like, I never really thought about doing it. It was only like recently I was like, okay, I should do this, like, come on. It's a sort of a good rule of thumb. If something takes like 5 minutes or less, you should do it now. If it's something takes 15 minutes or less, you should do it now. And it is something I try to abide by. If something does not take a lot of time to do it now, because there's no point putting it off. It takes like no time to do, but it's not also the easiest thing to motivate yourself to do things all the time like this, isn't it? I'm only human after all. Everyone's human basically after all, so you know, where we all fall into the fallible trap of procrastination to certain degrees. It's just how strong a stronghold will it take over you, which determines, I suppose, how easy or difficult it is to break certain habits. But yeah, I don't know. Hand washing things is always like a bit of a chore, I think, compared to just putting things in the washing machine. You know, it's one of the biggest marvels, I suppose, of technology nowadays, is the fact that the amount of convenience you get from doing things is crazy. You know, it's a reason why a lot of people, you know, were like housekeepers, or not necessarily housekeepers, but like there's always a preconceived notion of, you know, back in the day, the olden days or something, of like people, you know, I'm trying to think of like what am I trying to say? You know, like comparing now washing clothes to washing clothes back in the day, you know, despite the fact that, of course, you know, using a washing machine consumes a lot of water, uses electricity, that sort of thing. But the convenience and time you get back is insanity. It's ridiculous compared to like what would previously take up like half a day. You know, from stories of my parents doing it, you know, manually washing things using like a washboard. You had to go to like a river and get like you had to get your own soap or something, I don't know, and like manually scrubbing everything. Washing machine takes like 30 minutes or something. It's a fantastic privilege, I suppose, of modern convenience, shall I say. That these things, you know, can be made much more efficient, I suppose, on larger scales, right? It's a thing I spoke about recently with farming as well. Is like what the population of a percentage which was required to be farmers to produce enough food for the entire population, even though the population has been growing rapidly over years, as the percentage has dropped dramatically because of industrialization and things like that. Of course, nowadays I wonder if we're swinging far too much in the other direction of now trivial things are trying to be like convenience, like because like we've taken up most like the things which used to take days and whatever or hours to do, you know, have now been shrunken down to like less than an hour. Things like washing, you know, cooking is certainly a lot easier, I'd imagine, with like the instant hobs rather than having to like start a campfire or things like that. I wonder if we swing too far in the other direction, especially with the advent of like smart technology. You know, I don't want to sound like an old crotchety grandma or something when I go back in my day or anything like that, but certainly some things I do question the need for having smart versions of them. Like, but I also admit that I am very much one who is slow to take up new technology, or slow to sort of want to use the brink of new technology. You know, things like this. I mean, it's a thing that people talk about, like smart fridges and stuff like that. It's like, what's the point, like, of a smart fridge? I don't know. And you just kind of need the fridge. Fantastic, necessary invention means that food can be preserved for much longer. So it's not like food has to be picked, cooked, and eaten or something, all on the same day back in the day. Or the only other ways to preserve things would be like burying in snow or pickling things, etc., etc. But the need of a smart fridge is very much questioned, I suppose, for my own personal taste. But yeah, again, I don't have a smart fridge, so maybe, you know, if I got one, I'd be like, this is fantastic. You know, I remember actually back in the day we had like an enrichment week back in school where basically it was basically trying to simulate business, except for they didn't give us any lessons in business, so we were just like fumbling around being like, what are we doing? We had to split up in teams, pitch an invention, and, you know, make an invention or whatever, etc., etc., etc. And eventually what would happen was we would pitch it to people who were actual business people who came to like collaborate and help out in our school or something. I guess maybe they were volunteering, I don't really know. And they would choose which ones are best ones, and then there would be like a tournament. It was like the best ones in each class, and then would come to like the assembly and present them. I remember our group, like, and I'm going to say, like, we weren't a great like collaboration group, to be honest. I remember it was me and one of my really good friends, and then 4 other people who like were kind of friends who I've not spoken to for years or anything like that. We certainly didn't have that level of business acumen, shall we say. And certainly that's not something my teenage pride would have accepted. But I remember the project we basically pitched was a smart fridge, which did not exist at the time from what I really recalled. But it was basically a smart fridge. And I remember the concept we had, it was like it would scan your foods, and then it would be able to find the expiry date somehow. I don't know if barcodes really keep expiry dates, but I guess what they'd probably do is it'd have like a database. Now I'm trying to think of the details of it. It would have a database of whatever the food item is, because the barcode only contains what the food item is, and then they'd be able to like make estimations, I suppose, on how long it would last, and you can manually change it if you wanted. And then it would tell you like how to organize your fridge for like most efficiency, etc., etc. And when things were close to expiring, it would have like lights that changed from like green to orange to red to be like, hey, this is, you know, orange, watch out, this is expiring soon, please eat this. Red, this is expired, stuff like that. Which at the time, actually, you know, we came like 4th or something, I think, out of a group of 6. So, you know, we didn't do well. But I think a lot of that was definitely our presentation was absolutely terrible. We did not sell our project well. Nowadays, I think we'd all do a lot better because we're all adults now, I suppose, rather than kids. But still. But I remember that at the time, you know, there was this concept of a smart fridge. And I remember asking our parents, being like, how much were you spending on a fridge? And then, like, no one was like, I'm not going to buy a smart fridge. Like, I can't remember the price point we put for it. I think it's like 800 to 1,000 or something. Anyway, it's the sort of thing where, like, I don't know if smart fridges work like that, but that is genuinely a cool concept, you know. It's not for everyone. Like, does everyone need something like a, you know... Does everyone need a smart fridge to keep track of, like, when foods are expiring and need, like, reminders or trackings or stock or things like that? No, but some people do, and that's totally fair. You know, that's exactly what these inventions are for. I suppose, if anything, the thing I'm realizing is now these modern civilization inventions are allowing more specialization in things that they have. You know, while certainly everyone could do with having a washing machine to cut down the time of manually washing clothes for like hours a day to 30 minutes. Now it's getting things more specialized. Like, maybe now people need a smart washing machine to be able to remind them, or maybe now people need specialized washing machines which can handle, you know, delicate objects instead of having to hand wash them. You know, everyone's got different use cases for these sort of things, right? So I guess the long and short of it is inventions are kind of born out of necessity rather than if anything else, and maybe we should let the marketplace of not even marketplace of ideas, the marketplace of the marketplace determine through supply and demand whether things actually are needed or not. And if inventions become more specialized, maybe it's more of a sign of, yes, that means society has progressed enough that we have solved the base case for most people, and now allowing these different special inventions to flourish for the people who need them, you know? Basically, I guess progress is not a bad thing. I didn't mean to take like a cynical... Oh god, I did not mean to turn on your buff. A cynical take throughout it all. I was just trying to open discussion, you know. Green tea, absolutely. Tends to be my go-to. Green tea means everyone you know has been relying on you so much you're exhausted. Excuse me. I care about you a lot, so if that's true and you're having a hard time, know I'm here for you, Rainy. Aw, thanks, Lily. That's new dialogue. I don't think I've gotten that dialogue before. At least I don't recognise it. Honestly, I like all tea, so I'm not particularly fussy in that regard. What was I saying? Because I don't really remember anymore. Specific inventions. How did I get here from washing things? Oh, I was talking about hand washing things, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to title this episode. Hand washing, I guess. Yeah, anyway, the smart fridge thing. Oh yeah, we came 4th. You might be like, who won in your group? In our class, the group who won, which at the time I was like, this is a stupid invention, but now I'm looking back at them, I'm like, yeah, they definitely had like the best pitch and stuff. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. But their thing was, I remember it was called the saucy shooter. It was basically like an attachment for a ketchup bottle, like mayonnaise, mustard, any condiment bottle, to basically turn it into like a gun sort of thing. Not like an actual gun, but like a toy gun, you know. It was basically a toy for kids to make using condiments more fun. And, you know, at the time I was like, this is terrible. It already exists. But I was like, their pitch was a lot better. The second group is, our friendship group at the time was quite big, so we split into 2 groups. And the people who came second was the other side of the other half of a friendship group, who basically, it's basically the slap chop, from what I recall. You put like fruit and vegetables in, and then you slap the top, and it would like chop them up for you. Which at the time I was like, this seems incredibly dangerous. But, you know, it's probably a useful invention. But some people, you know, who find chopping, you know, with a knife difficult, get something like a slap chop. I can't remember what they called it or whatever, but it would have been useful. I don't remember who came third, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm trying to think overall, like, in the entire year, like, what other inventions there were. I can't remember. I just remember one group made, like, a mock-up of a really cool website. And it was pretty sick. But I don't remember what anyone else's inventions were. I am trying. Anyway, that was business week. Did we learn much business on that? I don't think so. But we all had to like dress up in like not formal wear, but like suit wear, business wear for that entire week. Anyway, I'm going to round off this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been dear darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord, and down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye bye for now.